let's get right to it, because today we have a lot to cover and the time is shorter than we expected. So now, my first question is, why marry? And I'm going to throw Tosin under the bus right away and ask, why marry? Why get married in the first place?
Okay, let me not get run over by that bus. Okay, why marry? Let me answer it from my point of view. Why marry? You marry because, I mean, one, it's the next step. Two, you tend to get to a point in your life where independence is no longer sufficient. You know, you start growing up, you're dependent. You get to a certain age, you become nagging for independence. But later you realize interdependence is really what you need. So you need someone with you. You just can't be alone. So yeah, you end up getting married.
Okay.
Or rather, you end up looking for someone, but you want to get married because you can't be without that person.
We're going to ask, there are two guys in the house and it's always interesting to get the guys' point of view. We always know what the ladies are going to say or we think we are. So now, Chemela, I'm going to ask you, what are the important factors, important things you look at when you're in the zone, you want to choose someone to spend the rest of your life with?
Okay, I'm going to steal this one from Tosi from earlier. Fine gear. Very important. But then for me, connection is even more important. I'd like to have someone that I can talk for hours with. Intelligent conversations, unintelligent, just rambling, but we're connecting, we're you know, like that, you know, knit together, and it just goes on and on. No, I can be in their presence and we'll be quiet, but we're still relating.
Okay, so connection, what's the second one?
Fine girl.
Okay, fine girl. Okay,
Who is a fine girl? Please, may I ask?
Let him quickly finish giving us the list. According to him, someone that's fine according to him.
Okay.
Yeah, someone that's fine according to me. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Shared values, shared value system. This one I've come across. Does a person have a temper? Yeah, that's important to me.
Okay.
You know, if a person does, even if a person does, as long as the person is actively working on being a better person, I'm fine with that.
Fine with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are your top 5 or top 4. Wow. Yemi, oh yeah, Yemi. Yeah, right now, let's say someone comes to meet you and say, okay, you know, he doesn't actually pop the question, but you actually, when you start considering him, what are the things you look out for, like the major 3 things you look out for? If you say you're actually even going to consider him as a potential.
And why is she laughing so? No, the way she did her face, like as a potential.
All right.
Really. Key for me is presentation. I wouldn't say fine boy, like fine girl, that, you know, but I just feel like it's very important how you present yourself.
Packaging.
Yeah, I like people who are together. So I really am not moved by fine boy. I don't, unfortunately, I'm not that kind of person. But that's important for me, presentation. I won't call it packaging, because packaging is sort of, it doesn't say.
Okay, so
completely.
we understand, we like
And then the fact that the person has values.
Alright.
Values matter for me. How the person treats family, how the person treats strangers, the person's view to life on key issues. I was talking to somebody and the person is talking, first time I'm meeting the person is talking about orgies, and I'm like, okay. Really? Okay. You know that kind of thing. I mean, you get comfortable with people before you start even saying stuff or show your true color, you know, those kind of things. So, I mean, I like to know the values that the person has. And the last for me would be, because God plays a very central place in my life. I really, really have tried to see people that do not have God in their lives. I mean, no offense to the typical church brother, yeah, but I like to know that God is very important to you, and you have a personal relationship with a person. I don't know how. I don't care how you express it, but
Okay. This is Akinyele. When Bros, Mr. Soji Akinyele came to meet you, and you know, I know there were other people. There were other people that that had been near you. You know, maybe they've been hovering or something or whatever. You're a fine girl now. I don't know if I'm.
they are yellow like
They are yellow, they are Igbo.
Okay. Now you're talking from that perspective. Continue to
So, what for you? What were the important things that Soji had that you're like, okay?
So,
For me, I think it's friendship. So we're friends for years before he popped the question, and then I sparked and I rigged, then we came back. You know, you guys know my story.
Yes.
But the truth about it is that I think that friendship, I from my own personal experience, there were not many people that I could draw near and not get irritated with after a while. But I found out that he was someone who wasn't perfect, but his imperfections did not irritate me. Like, I didn't feel disgusted when he did certain things that I would feel disgusted about when someone else did it. Like, I found myself forgiving of him, like you would be of a friend, and not having so much expectations like when you're dating somebody. So I think it was that level ground of saying I can actually be friends with this person, I can be good friends with this person, I can be a best friend with this person, I can be a chore mate with this person, you know. And I think that was key. And well, for me, if it was not him, I would say shape of head. To yourself be true, to thine own self be true. Like, shape of head is something I can't negotiate. I like, oh my goodness, if your shape of head is not right, I will not talk to you. It's not even exact shape of head. You get it described. Yeah, that's me. I don't
grown up around a lot of square head.
Interesting. You don't even know my type.
All sorts of polygons.
But I just like a very round. There's something awesomely sexy about a well-rounded head.
All right.
Okay, rounded.
Okay, that was. I don't know whether that was a requirement or a fetish or what. Excuse me,
A
but
fetish could be a requirement.
thank you. So in coming in, we were having some discussions of air, and I'd like to ask you, Chiemela, what would be the no for you if, okay, by the time you say you propose to a lady, you guys are in that position, in that place where you know the journey has started, and then what would be the red flag if something suddenly happens and you're like, okay, this can't actually happen?
You know, a lot of guys are actually similar. We think along the same lines. Tosin was saying earlier, someone that has their own mind. And I was about to ask him, okay, from the experience he gave, what if the person sees the other person in their life as an accountability figure? But then even at that, someone that their decisions come from within them. Yeah? And then another thing is family. How you relate with family. I love kids. If the person likes kids, if the person, you know, isn't squeamish around kids, that's a plus for me. But if the person is, I start wondering, okay,
What is the so if you discover that the person that you love to bits and all the connections, the fine girl, everything is there, then you now discover that this person may not want kids or may not even be interested in having any or has had and then is not interested in having any with you. So that's like
And I mean, just to add, I don't think that anybody like any African Nigerian voice it out and say
You don't want children.
But you know, you see it in the demeanor when the kids are throwing things around in the house, breaking things. You know, there is this extra. They may almost spank the child, like even if the child is not theirs. There's this, you know what, I hate this disturbance to my regular life and my heels, you know.
Okay, sorry if you don't mind me coming in there. One, a man's reaction to children will not tell you whether or not he likes kids. It just tells you how he would most likely train his, if he had one or two or whatever. There are some that, for instance, me, a lot of times when my daughter starts crying for no reason, people go, what do you want? And they pick her up. And I'm always saying, why leave her alone? If you guys are not here, we discuss these things. I tell her, she tells me, and she answers. Yes, she's not here too since. She wants to sleep. Are you ready to sleep? She'll lie down. My pillow, she'll bring her pillow and she'll sleep, you know. So it means when I was hanging around kids prior to having mine, when I see kids doing stuff, I would do pretty much that. But it doesn't mean whether you like or not. But at the same time, if not being able to attend to kids the way you want is a turn off, is a no-no, then definitely I see it's a trigger, really.
Yes.
It's going to be a trigger, and you may start losing interest in that woman.
Even though it's not popular here in our society, there are some people that will not get married. There are some people that are not interested in getting married. And whether male or female, even though with the female they actually have a harder time in society. Because according to society, a woman is supposed to make a home and have children and do every other thing. So, but with a guy can actually get away with it and all that, because there's some guys that there are some particular sets of people that get married later. From 40 upwards is when they now settle down and take a fine babe of maybe 21, 22, and then they now start having children and all that, you know.
Okay.
So we have that. So that's what I was thinking, that there are. I've actually had one or two conversations where one lady said that as far as she's concerned, it's not necessary for her to get married, and she told her mom, and her mom got all upset. And she hasn't said this since, but she's quite comfortable not getting married. There's nothing wrong with her. She's a babe and all that. So, but you know, family pressure will come on and all that. And interestingly, did anybody see Uti Nwachukwu's article in Bella Niger?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, interesting. For me, the best part of his article was what he actually wrote about reasons not to get married. Yes, I know we're rounding up. Time has actually flown today. and I wrote down the 7 points. I said, you are getting too old. The reasons, he said these are absolutely not good reasons for getting married. You are getting too old. You want kids. Your friends are married. To cover up your sexuality, money. Your pastor said, I thought that was really hilarious. Because he said that because your pastor said your pastor is not going to be in the matter, but so when things happen, the pastor will not be there. And then pressure from family and society. He said a lot of things, and I really felt him. And he was, because according to society, well, I don't know whether it's just African or it's just Nigeria in general, there's actually the thing is that if you're not married at a particular age, whether actually for the women, then there's something wrong with you. Yeah. And then nowadays people actually ask, are you gay? They find a way of asking you whether you are gay,
Yeah.
And some people have had that conversations. They ask you, are you gay? And throw back to them, I like boys, I like women, I like, or whatever you are, because you're like, seriously, because, and all that. So unfortunately, our time has actually run out.
Yeah, but I just wanted to drop a thought. I mean, we've all talked about our own personal views. The truth is, in making that decision, I think it's key to own the process yourself.
Yes.
And I think that's a point that should be made anytime before you commit to someone, because it's not just about the decision. The essence of everything of marriage is in that commitment and seeing it through. That's why we have a lot of failed marriages today, because people are not seeing through on their commitments. So it's important to make sure you own the decision and you know that you're doing it for yourself.
You must remember that marriage is a choice. To get married or not to get married, when to get married is actually a choice. You actually have a choice to make or not to make in this decision. And the thing is that you have to prepare. But remember that it is a choice. And Unfortunately, this conversation was too short, and we didn't utilize the guys
this
enough.
is a 6-hour
We didn't.
conversation.
We didn't utilize the guys enough.
Seriously.
We didn't have it wasn't whole enough. So maybe we're gonna have a part 2.
Yeah.
So maybe we're gonna have a part 2, and then
And they're coming in.
Yeah,
Because I have question.
Yes.
Who is fine girl?
In the eyes of the people.
Yemi, you are fine girl now.
No,
You are
don't
fine
worry.
girl.
Yemi, you are fine, don't worry.
So for the meantime, we're going to actually say goodbye. And remember that it's a choice. You have a choice, and we'll be back on there next week. So bye.